In this video, I will be covering 3 different sections. The first one's card, possible reasons for payment method declines. The second one is photo, reasons photographs may be censored. And the third one is message, what censors look for in e-messages. And it's based on my personal experiences, the experiences of incarcerated people, the experiences of the incarcerated people's loved ones, government officials, and customer service from Securus and JPay. You open up your Securus account and you go down here to the terms and conditions, and then open up a whole new window, and then you can scroll down and you click on messaging solutions, and this will give you an outline. It's like verify your identity, verify the incarcerated individual's identity, receive appropriate credit card or prepaid Visa or MasterCard authorization, and provide any other information that a correctional facility may require. And that's where they get you, right there, this line. So beware. Now, companies such as Eventive are for profit. They're working with the correctional centers to make money. Therefore, they're making money off the incarcerated people. They're making money off the incarcerated people's loved ones. And of course, the facilities are going to want to get the best profit from their kickbacks as well. So keep that in mind when you're trying to get money back or you're dealing directly with the company. Now, under the terms and conditions, it lists the different types of cards that can be used, like a debit card or a prepaid card. Now, a gift card is a hit and miss. Most likely it's not going to work. And if you have a card that doesn't allow cash advances, that's not going to work either. So you want to get with other folks and quite possibly talk to Securus, JPay, and find out if the card that you want to use is acceptable. Now, with Securus and other e-messaging services, it's one card per account because they use the card to track you, and they report these to the facility. So if you open one account and you have multiple contacts, but you use one card, let's say you have a Visa debit card, and you use that to purchase stamps, you use one contact to transfer money, then you're fine. But if you use that card on another account, then it's going to flag it, and most likely you won't be able to use the card, and you'll get an error message that will pop up. So let's say you and your brother are talking to a brother who's incarcerated. Your brother is running low on stamps, and you ran out. So your incarcerated brother is not going to be able to get any e-messages from you. So you ask Mom if you could borrow her debit card. So Mom says, sure. So you go in, you purchase stamps using her card. It'll go through fine because that's the first time the card was used to purchase stamps. Now your brother says, Mom, can I borrow your card? She says, sure. She goes in, it's going to reject that card. And the reason it rejects the card is because it was used on another account, which is your account. And the only account you can use that card on is yours. So you'll have a card that you're unable to use. Maybe you don't have enough funds on it. And then you'll have your mom's card that you can use. And even if you were to close that account, or let's say you got blocked out of it because you forgot your password, you can't use that card again. You'll either have to get a new card and reject mom's card, or mom could have her number changed, her debit number. And she could contact the facility and say that her number was compromised and she needs a new one. And it was compromised because you can't use it for buying stamps and using your e-messaging or your Securus service. You can buy phone time, and you can purchase like JPayers, but going back and forth, that's a different story. So just keep in mind, one card per account. And if you need to change the number, a lot of credit card companies have an online number, and if it gets compromised, they just change that number. Your actual credit card number remains the same, but this online number can change. And if you want to buy a prepaid card and charge it or load it using your debit card that's already been compromised, you can do that as well. Again, one card per account. Again, contractors are going to make money off of your loved one, as well as the incarceration facility. They're all in it for the money. And the victims are the incarcerated people and their loved ones. And I'll give you an example of what I went through with the state of Washington. I sent my fiance a money order. It was confiscated, and I put in an appeal. My appeal was rejected because of this excerpt from the rejection letter that I got. It said, after reviewing the available information, there is no new evidence to support reconsideration. Stamps are a negotiable instrument with monetary value, therefore recognized as such by the department. This is reflected by Washington Administrative Code, WAC 051, for possessing money, stamps, or other negotiable instruments without authorization. Per DOC 200.000, trust accounts for incarcerated individuals, family, friends, and/or other persons may only deposit to more than one individual's trust account or to any other account maintained by an approved vendor, example, media account, with superintendent designee prior approval. Additionally, the department may suspend, terminate the sender's ability to access those accounts. What they were saying is that I had multiple contacts on my account and I transferred stamps to these multiple people, and because I transferred stamps from one contact and another contact and quite possibly more contacts, I was just giving them stamps, they confiscated the money order, and my fiance was never able to get the money that she needed. And there's really no recourse to that. To me, it was just twisting the policy and the law, but that's the way the system works. So I suggest that if any of your money is confiscated, or if you lose money through some misunderstanding or some maybe something you might suspect is kind of shady, put in an appeal. I appeal every rejection I get, and I pretty much get the same response. I'm just a terrible person who breaks all their rules. But you may be able to win. I did help a loved one write an appeal letter for $100 that was confiscated, and the superintendent returned her money. So it is possible. And writing an appeal, you can go to the website, get the address, you can call the mailroom at the facility, or you can talk to some other folks, or even your incarcerated person, who can give you the contact information. And usually when you get a rejection notice, it refers you to the proper way to appeal. And I highly suggest that you do that. Each incarceration facility has its own set of guidelines for which photos it's going to accept. Now, a lot of people will tell you that it depends on who's on duty at the time that the picture comes through, and in many cases that is the case. So talk to your incarcerated loved one, go online, look up the policy. It's best to read each one of them because a lot of them are extremely detailed. But you want to stay in contact with the people who will be reviewing the photo. A lot of photos that we think are appropriate wind up getting rejected. Now, some things are just very clear. If you send a photo of nudity, or with a weapon, or just something that just kind of looks iffy, that when in doubt, don't send it. And definitely a photo of somebody that's in prison. Now you can tweak it a little bit and it should be able to pass. But photos, you're just going to have to put yourself at their mercy. There's been a lot of photos that I've sent out that I thought were fine, but wasn't. And there's a lot of gray area in there. And once again, I suggest that if you feel that the photo wasn't inappropriate and should have gone through, submit an appeal. Now, anybody who's written a letter to somebody that's locked up, an incarcerated person, knows that it is very easy to get a letter rejected. The prisons and incarceration facilities, let's say the jails and the correctional centers, they use what's called algorithms, and they look for certain words, phrases, events, things that will flag the letter to be read and maybe censored. So when you're writing a letter, you don't want to talk about escape or buying and selling illegal drugs or how to get contraband into the facility. You know, a lot of that stuff we would think would be common sense, but there's people that actually get on the phone and talk about that, and they write them up, and then it just winds up getting everybody in a lot of trouble. Not only is that letter rejected, but it could be used against them in a future hearing. So it's best just to read through the policy, talk to the people in the mailroom, talk to your incarcerated loved one, and get an idea of the kind of stuff they're looking for when they're reviewing your letters. And you can talk to other folks who've written letters, and you could also look at some letters that you've written in the past that were rejected. And of course, there's always the guidelines from the legal authorities. And, you know, we have freedom of speech in the United States. So who you write to, who your loved one writes to, and how it's interpreted could be a legal issue. And once again, do that appeal if you feel that what you wrote wasn't inappropriate.